Hey guys, today let's make whole wheat bread from scratch. Namaskar and welcome to Some Things Cooking with M. So let's get started. First things first, the most important step in this recipe is to activate your yeast. For this, take 3/4 cups of warm water and add 2 teaspoons of active yeast. The temperature of the water should be roughly 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. As soon as you add your yeast, you will see some activity going on, that's some air bubbles rising. Give it a stir and set it aside for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Cover it with the lid. And after 15 to 20 minutes, you should get a frothy, bubbly texture on the top, something like this. Meanwhile, into another bowl, add 2 cups of whole wheat flour, half cup of Maida or all-purpose flour, also 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. Now mix them all well with a whisk. And now you can add your activated yeast to this. Now we can add half a cup of milk. Make sure that your milk is at room temperature. Now you need to incorporate all of the powder and the wet ingredients together, so you can use your hand, mix them all well. At this point, break in 1 egg and squeeze in half a lime. We all know that wheat bread is little dense. Adding lime will make it light and airy. Now add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now is the time when we mix them all together. Roughly knead it so that you incorporate all the particles. You don't need to do strenuous kneading this point. The dough may still appear to be a bit sticky. It's no problem with that. Scrape all the dough from the sides and you can add in a teaspoon of olive oil and just coat the dough so that it does not get exposed to the environment. If the dough is exposed to air, it will form a thin crust on the top. We don't want that, so we can wrap it with a cling wrap so that it's completely unexposed to the outside environment. Now let it rest for 2 hours, and after 2 hours you'll see that the dough has doubled in size. You can see how the dough is all airy and fluffy. Now you need to scrape it from the bowl and transfer it onto a flat surface. So onto a flat surface, you just dust some flour. Now transfer the dough onto the surface and let's get started with the kneading process. Now this will take some time. You may use 1/4 to half cup of flour for this entire kneading process. At this point, the dough may look all ugly and sticky, but there's nothing to worry about. It will all come together. This entire kneading process will roughly take around 7 to 10 minutes. So stay tuned, keep kneading and rolling until you get the dough in this form. Once it no more sticks to the counter, you are good to go. Now it's time to roll our dough. Dust some flour onto a surface and just spread the dough evenly. You can use a rolling pin or just use your hands and spread them out. So once you get a uniform thickness, you can roll over from one end. There'll be some excess flour on the top. Just dust it a little bit and all is fine, and just roll it. When you reach the end, just tuck in the corners and dust the extra flour. Now transfer this dough to a greased pan so that it can take the shape of a loaf. Just spread it around so that you don't get ragged edges. Yeah, it's quite simple. That's all you need to do. Now you can cover it with a cling wrap once again and let it rest for another 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, this will rise to almost 1 inch above the level of the pan, and that should be enough. Just glaze it with egg wash so that after you bake it, you get a brown crust. Also, you can spread some sesame seeds. Now preheat the oven for at least 10 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. You need to bake it for at least 25 to 30 minutes. Once you take it out of the oven, let it rest for at least half an hour or 1 hour till it completely cools down. Don't slice them when it is still hot. You will see that the crust is all hard, but the inside will be completely soft. I was impatient and I cut it while it was still hot. And this is what you get. Don't repeat the same mistake. So let it cool down completely. Then you can evenly slice them into pieces. You can cut them into this thin slices once it's cooled down. So don't be in a rush and just wait until it completely cools down. I hope you'll try baking your own bread at home, and if you like this video, do hit a like, share and subscribe, and comment if you have any questions related to this recipe. Until next time, stay at home, eat healthy and stay healthy.